Hello everybody, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a Reaper video editing tutorial. You may be wondering, why are we doing this tutorial in the middle of our existing VS Code series? And you also may be wondering why we didn't have any videos this week until now. I have had so many requests to do this Reaper video editing tutorial, it has been outrageous. I decided that I was going to start to do this tutorial, and we will get back to our regularly scheduled programming on Tuesday. What is Reaper? Reaper is an audio workstation that can be used for podcast editing or music production. It is available for both Windows and Mac. Today I'm going to be showing you on a Windows 10 machine using the NVDA screen reader. How do we get Reaper installed? So there's a few things we need. We need Reaper itself. We need a few extensions. So the first one is Asara. And what Asara is it's an accessibility extension that helps make Reaper fully accessible. Second, we need SWS, which is another extension that helps to make Reaper more usable and to add extended functionality. So let's install the components. I'm going to walk you guys through it. Alright, let's jump into it. I'm going to open up my browser. I prefer Google Chrome, but anything will work.
Address and search bar edit as autocomplete CTRL+L address and search bar.
First order of business, download Reaper. Reaper can be downloaded from Reaper,
R-E-A per dot F-E-E-R R dot unselected F-F-M slash unselected O-L-A-D Reaper.fm slash download.php selected Reaper bar download document. Clickable. If you are staying home and would like to use Reaper, you can.
Next thing you will do is you're going to press your links list or your elements list, depending on your screen reader of choice, or find the download link.
Element D, download Reaper version 6 D, download user guide 5 D, download 12 of 79 level 0. Reaper downloading 13.6 MB, Reaper 623 line x64 install left parent, to right parent, .x alert, download complete : Reaper 623 line x64 install left parent, to right parent, .x, press shift plus F6 to cycle to the downloads bar area, alert, Reaper bar.
Okay, so my Reaper is downloaded. We're going to install the other two components while we're at it so that we don't have to try to go back and forth, and then we'll install all three. Our next order of business is to download Asara. And recall that Asara is the accessibility extension for Reaper. This can be downloaded by going to your address bar and typing in Asara, O-S-A-R-A, reaperaccessibility.com/snapshot. And as a note for you guys, Reaper Asara is in a beta mode, so there's actually been no releases. However, with that statement being said, this is a very stable piece of software, and I would still encourage you to download it, because without it, Reaper will be fully inaccessible for us. I'm going to download the Reaper Asara version that corresponds to my architecture. I'm on a 64-bit Windows 10 machine, so I'm going to find the 64-bit installer. You can use your links list or elements list to locate the download link.
D. Download Asara 2021.1 pre-448761 C0 DD1 for Windows 3 of 4 level 0.
I'm going to press enter.
Asara development snap downloading 635 KB. Asara line 2021.1 pre-448761 C0 DD1 left parent, to right parent, .x alert, download.
Okay, so my Asara is downloaded. We have one final thing to do, and that is to install the SWS. So SWS is, again, another extension that we highly recommend. And what we'll do is we're going to go to our address bar again.
Selection removed.
SWS.
SWS. S unselected.
Dash extension.
Dash E X X unselected. E unselected. S I O N N O R G SWS dash extension.org selected. SWS/S&M extension document. Clickable heading level 1 link SWS/S&M extension.
I'm going to now try to find the download. And again, 64-bit, same thing we've been doing with the other two components. Let's see here. So
Elements
list.
D. Download X32 6 of D. Download X64 S double downloading 0% remaining alert. Download complete colon SWS-2.12.1.3 Windows X64 left parent. To right parent. X. Press Shift plus F6 to cycle to the downloads bar area. Alert.
What have we done so far? We've downloaded Asara, Reaper, and SWS. Okay, I found myself in the downloads folder, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to install these components in the order that we downloaded them. So the first thing we did was we downloaded Reaper. So I'm going to install Reaper, just because that makes a lot of sense.
Asara line Reaper 6 window download Reaper v6.23 left parent X.
I'm going to press Alt-A so that I can accept the terms and conditions.
Property page space required colon 129.4 MB setup will install Reaper v6.23 left parent.
I'm going to press Alt-N so that I can go to the next screen because it's just telling me about the space requirements.
The graphic Reaper v6.23 left parent X64 right parent setup dialog. Property page select components to install colon select components to install colon space required colon.
I'm going to not do anything here because I don't need to install any other components. So all I will do here is I will press Alt-I to install.
Show details button Alt plus D.
And if you're doing other things with Reaper, you may want to actually look at the components, but for today's purposes, I don't really think that is what we're going to do.
Close button Alt plus C.
I'm going to now close this installer.
Reaper v6.23 left parent X64 right parent setup dialog Reaper installed. Run now. Yes button Alt plus Y.
Reaper has installed, and it's asking if we want to run it. I do not want to run now because I actually want to install our other components before we run. So I'm going to hit no by pressing Alt-N.
Downloads window. Items view list. Today grouping expanded. Reaper 623 line X64.
I'm now going to install Asara. Pretty much the same exact process we just went with Reaper. So I'm going to find the installer for Asara.
Asara line window dialog on the Windows Defender smart screen.
Now here's a note. So this actually Windows Defender said that, it's blocked it. So what we could do is if you press the tab and you'll find something called more info. You're going to click on that and find run anyway. That is how we can avoid this problem. It'll be like a blue screen like this.
Windows protected. Don't run button window. Windows start. Don't run button. Windows protected.
It's kind of a hard thing to find, but once you find it, you might just have to tab a little bit or shift tab or...
Run anyway, but down Asara 2021.1.
I'm going to press Alt-A to accept.
Property page install into a standard or portable installation of Reaper. Standard installation.
I'm going to hit next.
Property page check the components you want to install and uncheck the components you don't want to install. Click install to start the installation. Check the components you want to install and uncheck the components you don't want to install. Click install to start the installation. Select components to install colon space required colon 1.
I'm not going to mess with any of these components. I'm just going to press Alt-I to install.
Show details button Alt plus D. Close button Alt plus C.
I'm going to close this dialog.
Space downloads window. Items view list. Today grouping expanded. Asara line 2021.1 pre-448,761 C0 DD1 left parent. 2 right parent. X2 of 194.
I'm going to press my up arrow key so that I can install the SWS, which is our final component that we need to install.
Window downloads window. SWS extension v2.12.1.
And again, we're going to go to the same process we've been doing for the last two. So agree.
Property page space required colon 3. Property page select components to install colon. Select components to install colon space required colon 3.8 MB. Check the components you want. Less back proper.
So I'm now at the point where I can press Alt-I to install the extension, and I'm going to do so.
Show details button Alt plus D. Close button Alt plus C. Space downloads window. Items view.
Alright. We have all of our components installed, at least for now. There's going to be some more coming up in a minute. But for a minute, we are actually good on installing things. So I'm just going to open up Reaper because we haven't opened up Reaper yet. We've only installed things, which is important, but we actually want to see what Reaper has to offer. So I'm going to launch my Reaper.
Start Reaper.
Alright. I'm launching right now. It takes a little bit to get initialized at first. And what's going to happen is you're going to be asked a question about selecting your audio device. And so, yeah, you want to select your audio device. I've actually had a problem before where I wasn't able to hear my Reaper through my headphones. So, that may become a problem, but I fixed it, I believe, by just doing the Windows Direct sound, but honestly, I haven't had the problem since, so, yeah, not sure
Reaper
exactly.
dialog. You have not yet selected an audio device. Would you like to select your audio device? Driver now left parent. Recommend no button. Yes button.
I'm gonna select it.
Reaper preferences dialog. Edit blank. Preview. Device edit. Find OK button.
All I'm doing here is pressing tab to navigate through the window.
Cancel. Dialog sample format. AC. Wave out. Direct sound. Dub direct wave ace dummy was stop. Dummy ace wave direct sound.
I'm gonna choose
Reaper
direct sound, I think. Okay. And to close the preferences window, I'm gonna press Control P.
Reaper prefer.
Whoops.
Re
Hold on. Let me maximize this for y'all.
No tracks.
Okay, so you hear how it says no tracks. So if you hear that, then that means we have everything right. So Asara is installed and everything is good to go. All right. Another thing you're going to have to deal with is the licensing. So recall this software is not free. And so something you're going to have to do is either activate your license or do the evaluation and then buy it after 30 days. So we're going to do that in a minute. But what I want to do first is I want to actually get our video components installed. And recall that we right now have a Reaper installation that has a bare minimum. We don't have any video codecs or any of that installed. But in order to do video editing in its current form, we have to have our video codecs. And there are two ways to do this. The first is to use the Ffmpeg Library. And there's about 8 or so DLLs that need to go in your user plugins folder. The other way is to use the VLC encoder. Personally, I have not used this myself, and so I will not be showing that one today. But I am going to show the Ffmpeg method because that is something that I am familiar with. A disclaimer about the Ffmpeg. I have not really been able to find it online very easily. And so what I really recommend is that you get in the community Dropbox for the Reaper users. And this Dropbox is a really cool place for people to share effects, instruments, files, music, software, scripts, what have you. And it is really awesome. And what I will do is I'm going to actually put a link to the Dropbox landing page where basically it'll kind of tell all about the folder. Obviously, you have to get an invite from the admin to get in. So what you can do is there's also a mailing list and a WhatsApp group. I'm not going to put direct links to those, though, so that we can prevent spam. What I am, however, going to do is I am going to put a link to the Reaper Wiki landing page where you can read about those different items and you can subscribe. And then what you can do is introduce yourself on the list and say you want to get in the Dropbox. That would be the best way to go. And again, you could try to find them online, but honestly, every time I tried, the DLLs weren't compatible. So I tried with the Reaper DLLs from the Dropbox, and they work just great. So that's why I'd highly recommend you get in the Dropbox. So I'm going to assume that you are in the Dropbox and that you can access it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close Reaper once again. And I'm going to go to my Dropbox folder.
Run blank D-O-O-X text folder view list. Dropbox R Reaper 5 of 13.
I'm going to find the Reaper folder.
Items view list.
And just as a note, the Reaper folder is 1 point something gigs. So if you only have a free plan, maybe you could just get the Ffmpeg and get out of it or something. But the Reaper Dropbox, definitely, it's 1 point something gigs. But all the stuff in there is pretty worth it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the folder. It's called Ffmpeg. And there's going to be 2 different folders inside of that folder. One for Windows 32 and one for 64. And I believe that somebody did put the Mac codecs because they're not the same as Windows, but I don't see them in here at the time of filming. So if you do see them, you could follow the same process that I'm outlining below. So that'll be nice once they get added in there. So I'm going to find Ffmpeg.
Ffmpeg 4 of items view list. Ffmpeg-4.0.2-Win64.
Yep, 64.
Items view list.
I'm going to copy all these 8 DLLs. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to copy all these. all these DLLs must be copied in order for this to work. So all I did here is I pressed Control A, Control C. I'm now going to press Alt F4 to exit this window, and I'm going to go to my app data folder in Reaper so that I can add these DLLs to the user plugins folder in the root. So let's do that together. So Alt F4.
Run blank. Selection
I'm going to
removed.
get rid of that other text here. I'm going to do %.
Dollar.
Whoops.
Dollar. Percent.
App data.
A P P D A T A.
%.
Percent. Text
Enter.
folder view list. Roaming window. Tree view. Quick access expanded 1 of 2 level 0. Items view list. Dot shift not selected 1 of 55.
I'm going to press R for Reaper.
Reaper 4. Items view list. Color themes not
I'm going to
selected.
press U for user plugins.
User. Items view list. Reaper line Asara 32.dll not selected 1 of 3.
I'm going to press Control V to paste these 8 DLLs in here, and by the time this process is done, you should end up with 11 DLL files. We've got 11 DLLs, and that is what we should end up with. So that is awesome. I'm going to now Alt F4 to close out of this window, and we're finally going to bust out Reaper and start editing.
Ffmpeg
Close that. Open up Reaper.
Star E. Reaper. Reaper v6.23 evaluation license. Track view.
And what I'm going to do for this point is I'm actually going to open up a video file, and we're going to get editing. Opening up video files can be done by pressing Control I for import. So that is assuming you have the Asara key map installed.
Import 5 items view list.
My file's open, and what I want to do is I want to actually start editing. The first thing I always do is whenever I'm filming a video like this, whenever I'm going to start, I always cue myself in. And that usually is in the form of this, 3, 2, 1. And after I hear the 3, 2, 1, and then I start doing the welcome and all that kind of stuff, I know that I need to cut and trim right after I hear that 1, but before I start the welcome. So it's always a good idea to cue yourself in. I find that very helpful. Now, in order to try to trim all this, there's a couple ways you could do it. First, you could create an item in Reaper for the selection and then trim that. The only problem is that when you're done with that, I find that your file has a lot of empty space at the beginning because it will start playing at the bar that the item was starting at. Or you can select via a time selection, which is what I recommend, and I actually have some custom keyboard shortcuts. Now, you may be wondering, but how do I navigate this file? Because this is a long file, I don't have a lot of time. And my answer to that is, you can either one of two things. Use your left and right arrow to do scrubbing. You can use your page up and page down and control page up and page down respectively to navigate by beats and bars. So almost like you would have in a music thing, the same concept still applies. So that is how I usually navigate. So let us get started. So what I'm going to do is I usually navigate by bars to get started. And I can even press page down really fast. And until I hear myself speaking, I can kind of, stop there. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So control left arrow to go to the beginning of the item.
One zoom line 0.mp.
Page down. What I'm going to actually do, hold on.
One.
So 3, 2, 1. I'm at the beginning and I'm going to navigate by bars at this point so that I can navigate to the file location of where I want to cut. So I'm going to do my bars. So page down really fast.
Bar 2.
And I'm going to play by pressing space.
Play. Bar 6. Bar 20. Hello world. Bars unavailable. Bar 100. Bar 109. Bar 100. Bar 107.
For real.
Bar 102. Space.
3,
Unselected.
2, 1.
Pause.
Okay, so I heard my 3, 2, 1. And I knew that I heard that 3, 2, 1. I'm going to start my welcome. So I'm going to now get rid of everything before that location. So what I will do is I'm going to press my applications key or Shift F10. And I'm going to look for an item called Remove Contents of Selection and Move Item. So, okay. applications.
Context secondary to remove zoom. Remove selection as unavailable are.
Don't do that.
Zoom sets extends insert create insert to remove all markers for ruler left set project set create measure for create measure crop insert empty remove contents of selection left parent moving later items right parent unavailable.
But I think I forgot to do something. I forgot to select. I'm currently on the location where I want to edit. And so what I do is I can press A to add a new item to the track. So what that's going to do is it's going to split the location of the track at my current cursor position. So, in other words, I'm going to have one item that has the stuff, the verbiage at the beginning of my file, and another item that has all of the file content from the video and not any of that stuff. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to press A.
One item added.
One item added. And then I'm going to press Control left arrow to navigate to that first item, and you can kind of hear what it says. So ready?
2 zoom.
So 2.
1 zoom.
1. And you heard 1 zoom line 0, whatever, because that's what the file was called. So it would do that for each of the items that you have. So 1, 2, or however many. But again, I would only recommend doing this towards the beginning where you have to trim. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to just play the item 1, just see what we have, just so I can kind of show you. And playing can be accomplished by pressing Control space or space. So Control space will play at the edit cursor, and space will play at the play cursor. But what I always like to do is when I'm doing something like this, I always like to sync them first by pressing the / key. So I'm going to show you now, play. So we have a little bit of an issue. Our issue is that we have so much blank space and blank bars of music at the beginning of our file. And what I will do here is I'll press my item 2.
1 zoom line 0.mp.
And you notice that the numbers changed too. I'm going to press Control Shift X.
1 item removed.
I'm going to now go to the beginning, Control left arrow.
Bar 100, bar 10%.
I press Control Home. It said bar 10%. So that means that it will start at bar 1 instead of whatever it was before, 100 and whatever. I'm going to press Control V.
1 item added.
I'm going to press Control left arrow.
1 zoom.
And I'm going to make sure it works.
Play.
Hello and welcome. Today we are going to
Stop.
Perfect. Now, we have our item trimmed even though we forgot to select. Obviously, that's only the beginning. So we still have part of our video to edit. And for your sanity, I'm not going to edit this whole video on camera. What I'm going to show you is how I actually do it. I'm going to go back to the beginning again.
1 zoom.
And I'm going to press / to sync up my cursors, and I'm going to do page down.
Play.
Hello, today we are going to actually
bar 3.
Get to coding for real. 3, 2, 1.
Pause.
Oh, so okay, I heard my 3, 2, 1. And usually when I hear that in the middle of my files, that means that I messed up somewhere, so I need to cut everything beforehand. If I really wanted to, I could do that same method we just did a minute ago. But I don't really want to do that because then, that'd be creating issues. And plus, you already kind of know how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this other method that I usually do when I'm editing. So first thing you're going to do,
1.
go to the beginning or where you want to select. So I'm going to press Control left arrow. I'm going to do left bracket to select.
Set selection start.
And that will set the selection start. So this is almost like you would do in Audacity. I'm going to then use my keys to navigate to where I want to end the selection. So bar by bar, and I'm going to listen until I hear my 3, 2, 1 cue again. And then I'm going to end the selection and go from there. So let's do this.
Play.
Hello,
Bar 4.
For real.
Bar 5. Bar 6.
2.
Bar 7.
Welcome to
bar 6.
2, 1.
Pause.
I'm going to press / to sync the cursors. And then I'm going to do my right bracket.
Set selection end.
All right. I've got selection end and I have a selection start. What we want to do now is use our handy dandy applications menu, and I have a keyboard shortcut for this, which I will display in a later video because it is still in alpha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift F10 or applications.
Context remove selection star.
You don't want to do remove selection. That's not helpful. What you want to do is remove content of selection.
Second, remove zoom, sets, extend, insert, create, reach, insert, remove all markers for ruler, layout, set project, set pro, create measure, crop project, insert empty, remove contents of selection, left parent, moving later items, right parent, left bracket, unsaved.
I'm going to go to the beginning again, and usually what I like to do, I don't always like to go to the beginning, obviously, because that'd take too much time. So what I do then is I kind of go back a few bars so that I can make sure that I actually got it. I always like to double check my work, but in this instance, I'll just go back.
One zoom lines play.
Welcome to the next video in the VS Code series.
Pause.
Perfect. I have shown you how to do a selection, and we've gotten rid of all the stuff at the beginning, and we even got rid of one of my mess-ups. Let's do this a few more times so we can get the hang of it. Okay, I have a lot of silence here, and I want to try to kill that if I can. So, you know, I've been using, like I said, kind of going through this video, trying to edit what I need to, but I really want to get rid of some of this silence. I mean, it's fine, and I don't really try to get rid of everything. If there's like ums and uhs, if they're too tight, I really don't edit them because then it sounds like a pile of garbage sometimes. But what I try to do is I try to get rid of anything that I can that is just filler. But being conservative of making sure that it doesn't sound like a half put together thing where the edits are so tight. So I try to keep that in mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of this silence. So I'm going to first figure out where it starts. That's obviously the first step in all this, is figuring out where you're starting from.
Play.
However, I was
bar
going to
52.
press
Bar 49.
type live
Bar 47.
to go to the
bar 54.
However, I would have to get our
bar
setting easier,
56.
and you can get
bar
options that we
50. Bar 58. Set selection stop. Pause.
I found the silence and I kind of listened for a few seconds. And so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to listen for when I actually start speaking again and cut very close and careful so that I don't cut off my first word. So I'll kind of show you what I mean.
Play. Bar
Make
60.
it
Bar 59. Beat 4. Pause.
I'm also going to use my beat command. So control, page down. And that will allow me to navigate by beat. So instead of bars, I can navigate by beat. This will allow me to get more of a fine-grained control over my editing and allow me to dive deeper into figuring out where I need to cut.
Play.
We
bar
are
60.
gonna make
beat
it
3.
GitHub
Beat 1. Beat 2.
We are
Beat 1.
gonna make it.
Bar 60. Beat 1.
We are gonna make.
Pause.
Okay, so let's
Play.
make it.
Beat
We
2.
are
7.
gonna make.
Beat 1.
We are gonna
Bar
make.
15. Pause.
Okay. So I press my slash, and then I'm going to press right bracket.
Backslash. Set selection end.
I'm going to do my applications key.
Content remove selection secondary time apps hours sam sec measure minute copy select list paste remove contents left bracket.
And then I'm going to press my page up.
Beat 181 per bar 58. Play.
Shortcuts.
Bar
Choose that
bar
with
58.
shortcuts. We are gonna make it GitHub.
Pause.
That sounds much better, doesn't it? Because then it says shortcuts. We are going to make, you know, there's a little bit of a silence, but it's not too awkward. And so what I usually do is I try to go back at least 4 or 5 bars just to make sure that my changes were applied. And I'm going to show you guys this one more time, just so that you guys can get the idea. But I think it's pretty similar. I am going to make a disclaimer. I don't do any of the noise gate and filters yet because I don't frankly really know how. But this is just a basic tutorial. And I am going to be doing more Reaper videos, so if you guys are ever interested, I am going to be doing more Reaper videos and coming out with some really awesome things. And obviously continuing the VS Code videos for those who love. And control space and slash to get rid of that, and I obviously heard 3, 2, 1. Uh-oh, but did I select it all? Uh-oh, I don't think I did.
Set selection end.
Let me see if I select.
Second remove zoom set insert remove rule set create crop insert remove paste remove contents of selection left parent moving later items right parent left bracket unsaved
I'm awesome.
beat bars play.
I would highly encourage you to download it.
Pause.
Now sometimes the only thing I'm really not liking about Reaper right now, and it just could be because I'm such a novice. The problem is that I sometimes get thrown in the middle of the file somewhere and I have to kind of navigate. I get thrown way ahead, and maybe there's a way to prevent this. I'm just, again, not a very good Reaper user yet. But I'm just going to go back to where I thought I was. So, like, beat 60 or something.
Bar play. Bar
You can actually
61.
download our sample code to follow along.
Bar 58.
we're going to be making a Git repo for this course. And so you can actually download our sample code to follow along.
I think this gave you a great idea of how I edit my videos. And in future, I'm going to show you how to make it more efficient because video editing can take forever. I'm going to also do some more VS Code tutorials and hopefully feature some special guests in the next couple weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, check out the description. I've got some really amazing links. If you're interested in becoming more a part of the channel, look at the community website where you can help become a member and be on our Discord. We also have web hosting and other services. I will put the links in the description, so feel free to look at those. I'm going to also throw in our links for our components that we did today, so the wiki, the SWS, the Asara, and the Reaper, so that you have direct download links for those. And I hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you guys later, and again, I'm sorry for not posting a video this week, but this has been a long-awaited video, and it was really awesome, so I want to make sure it was going to be good for you guys. But with that being said, I hope to talk to you guys soon,